Hey guys, Alex with Ellis Guitars here. We're bringing you the second in maybe a series of videos talking about who we are, what we do, and today we're talking about something that's super cool, and that is the X Series pickup blending system. So, just off the top, what is the X Series pickup blending system?
I am so glad you asked that, Alex. Alan, would you like to tell them? No, I'm kidding. I'm going to tell you. Anyway, all right, everybody. So the X Series pickup blending system is, I think, just the coolest thing. It is a way to fully unlock all the tones that are physically possible from your guitar. It doesn't matter how many pickups you have. It doesn't matter the day of the week, the brand name, any of that stuff. But what it does is it takes what you already have and what you love, and it gives you full access to it. What that basically means is, let's say you have 2 humbuckers. Well, you can have your normal north or south, but now you have a full range of in between. You can have 10% of the neck, and you can have, any other proportion you want of anything. You have a master volume of anything. You can have proportions that you never dreamed of before. You can have all your pickups on at one time if you want, or less. You can color your tone.
So how does it differ just from a normal selector switch?
Absolutely. So we all know how a 5-way selector switch goes, or a 3-way, whatever you're used to. So those are predetermined tones that the manufacturer knows that you're going to love, or at least say you're going to love. You flip the one, it's going to go to your neck. You flip it down, it's going to go to your bridge. If it's a middle, you have that, and it's any kind of split in between. This does away with that and says, now you can make any microtonal adjustment you want in real time with your hands on your guitar without having to reach for a pedal, an amp, or have a mixer change all your tone. You can do it right there on the spot.
So how does it do that?
It is patented IP, so I can't tell you fully everything. But yes, it's patented technology because it's brand new. It's never been done before. So it's an exciting way of relearning how to get access to your tones. So when you play guitar, you know how all your knobs work. You know how the sound is supposed to be. But now, instead of just twiddling a knob and being limited to certain tones, you can create more of a mixer or an EQ vibe where when you hear a tone that you're playing, if it's not what you're hearing in your head that you want it to be, you literally can color in the knobs to the different pickups and add or subtract until you create the tone that you're chasing.
So obviously that works for a 2 pickup or even a 3 pickup. Does it work for like a 1 pickup?
Absolutely. Guitar? Absolutely. So it can work for a single pickup, 2 pickups, 3 pickups, and you can even go as crazy as 6 pickups if they're all single coils. There's so many ways you can mess with this. I mean, the tone possibilities are almost endless.
Okay. First, where can I order a 6 pickup guitar?
Yeah, ellisguitars.us.
Shameless.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Nigel Tufnell's signature model.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it only comes in bass.
So, what inspired you to do that? Like where did that come from?
Yeah, from session work, it drove me crazy that I would have a guitar and I would track it twice, and then once I hear back in the mix it's wrong, having to go back, getting a different guitar with a different tone that I know it has, tracking that twice, still the wrong tone, going for a third, and you're killing time, you're being inefficient, and all I really wanted was to have the same guitar that's already tuned and intonated, and I could just change the tones and to get what I wanted, all in one. So we did that.
So I can hear right now people watching this and say, well, why would I want that? I like collecting guitars. Why would I want one guitar that could do all of my guitars?
Sure.
Exactly.
As I say always, as a guitarist, we can create the one guitar that you'll need. It's not the one guitar you're going to want. You're always going to want more guitars. In fact, have more guitars. But this gives you the ability to have your guitar that you love, that is your favorite pride and joy, and make it something extra special. You can make this better. You can also do this with a guitar that you can't stand. This could be your first guitar that you have that's totemistic, that you keep because you have such good memories to it, but you can't really play it because it doesn't sound right. Well, this can breathe new life into it. So that's why.
So is the X Series pickup only available in Ellis Customs?
No. In fact, you can get it on our website as a kit, where we have the X Series pickup blending kits. We have for guitar, we have 1 pickup, 2 pickup, 3 pickup models, and we also have for bass in 2 and 3 models. You can get that put in your own. You can do it yourself. It's all solderless. So you literally just open up the back of your control cavity, cut out those parts and throw them away. So all you have left is your pickup wires and your bridge ground. And this kit that we send you has everything else. It's plug and play. You literally put them in the hole, screw it in, and it just plugs the only way that it will fit. So you can't screw that up.
Idiot proof. That's good.
Yes. So yes, we have that for all that. You can order an Ellis custom guitar as well, where we can make your dreams come true with any configurations you want,
Including 6 single coils.
including 6 single coils, using our high-end pickups that we hand wound as well, that are perfectly tuned for our system to get the tonal combinations with a full range spread. But you can pick up just the board. You can pick up the guitar. We're happy to sell either. We just want you to be happy and just understand this new way of playing guitar.
That's a good way to put it. It is a new way to envision how to get your tone, right? 'Cause in a traditional system, you have say you have a 2 humbucker, right? And you have your bridge and you have your neck, and one is high gain, one is mellow. And if you have a 3-way switch, you can have both. And that's it. If you want something else with that guitar, you need pedals, or you need to go EQ it after you record it. Or if you're live, you need to handle that at the board or your amp or whatever.
Or furthermore, extensive modifications to, extra switches and pots to do what the system can do anyway.
Right. Changing out the resistivity of your pots, or new pickups even. Whereas this will give you your extremes and everything in the middle, all in a plug-and-play system.
Absolutely. And going back, to day one, when I was looking for this, I wasn't looking at creating a product. I wanted this system for myself to make my life easier. And I searched extensively, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't find it, I built it. So my greatest customer would be myself. And I know there's other people out there like me that just want full control of their tone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so nice to hear something in your head that you want, and now you can just have it.
Yeah. And I mean, at least for me, you guys may think differently, but the greatest compliment I can receive as a guitarist is not, man, you played really well, or man, your left hand's so clean. It's, I really like your tone. Like when I play live, and if someone comes up to me and is like, your tone sounded really good, that's like the ultimate compliment from one guitarist to another, and being able to have really an infinite spectrum of warm to bright.
Sure.
Any sound my guitar can make is now accessible. It's super cool.
Because we don't stumble across our tone. We actively work at building it.
Yeah. And like we're always constantly pursuing tone, right? The pursuit of tone is what afflicts all of us as guitarists. We're constantly buying gear, constantly buying pedals, selling pedals because you don't like it, and buying a new pedal. It's the same but different.
Or thinking you found your sound, and then you hear another guitar on a record
or
at a show, and
no,
you're like, well,
my
got to start over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go grab one of those.
Sure.
Maybe that 2 pickup LP right there.
Not that
2
one. the other
pickup. Strap. And why don't you walk Alan kind of through how to use it? We got it plugged in here, running a Helix.
Absolutely. So what Alan's picking up over here is one of the Ellis custom guitars that we built. It's a semi-hollow LP2 model with a Coca-Cola top and a hard maple body and neck. And what we have in here is the 2 pickup version of the X Series board for guitar. And what this allows here, you've got 2 humbuckers, neck and bridge. And what we have is the usual volume and tone like everyone else has. It works just like you would always assume it would. But what's cool here is visually how we have set up for the neck pickup. We have a toggle switch here and a blender knob. Okay, we have that here for the neck and for the bridge as well. So 2 sets.
What's the toggle switch?
Oh, wonderful. So every humbucker is really 3 pickups in one. You have a single coil neck, north position, right here, you have a south coil, single coil pickup, and you have the 2 in series, which makes a humbucker. So what this allows is you to select, if you press forward, just the north, down, south, middle, humbucker. So now you can blend in, let's say I've flipped it up, so right here is just the north. I have it at whatever percentage I want in the final mix, and this is balancing to 100%, by the way. So if you have 10% up top and 90% down here, it's always going to sound the same as if you had them both cranked at 100% each. Okay. So that's fantastic. So now you can have, let's say, north going and a humbucker at the same time in your proportions, or I could swap them to be, flip it down, now I have a south and a north, or any combination of anything you want right here. So you can truly make what you know comfortably, as in just a neck pickup or just a bridge pickup, but now you can have both on at the same time, or you can have the neck only coil with a humbucker on at the same time, or 80-20, 20-80, and any proportion in between. I mean, you literally can color the tone in by turning this knob, and it keeps your volume at 100% the whole time.
Right. Well, that all sounds good, but...
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Does this only work exclusively with Ellis Guitar pickups, or
No.
can you use any manufacturer?
No, a super cool thing here is you don't have to use just ours, even though we would like you to, because it's set to work perfectly with our system. But you can use any other brand pickups you want, and it doesn't void the warranty of anything. It literally is, in a sense, rewiring the pickup in real time. And there's no batteries to this. This is... Nothing drives me more crazy than having to change out a battery. There's no batteries. It's all analog. So this just works as is.
So what if I have a 2 humbucker guitar, but my humbuckers aren't coil tapped?
Yep.
Will it still work?
Absolutely, because our system coil taps it for you.
Really?
So everything's already in it. You don't have to do anything. There's no wiring, no nothing. You put it in, you snap it in, and you're off to the races. Okay, and another thing, a barrier to entry is, let's say you don't want to drill a hole in your guitar. Well, you don't have to. Just reuse the holes you already have for knobs and make them blend knob whatever you want. You only have the toggle switch if you want it. I mean, you can hypothetically just have a humbucker and then change the proportion. You don't have to coil switch it. It's just ability to have as much tones as you want to have. So, you want to give them a little taste, Alan?
Sure.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. So what tone are you gonna start at?
So I figure we'll just show each humbucker. I figure we'll just show each humbucker individually.
Sure.
Start with the bridge, kind of get an idea what that sounds like.
Okay.
And then go to the neck, and then kind of mess around with what other sounds we can get utilizing the individual coils.
All right. And so before you get started, we are running out of there through a helix here to my left, running through a Marshall 45. Sorry, and then into our DAW. Cool. Pretty simple.
So here we have just the bridge humbucker.
Hey, that's the tone I'm always looking for. This is
Right.
Alan.
All in the hands and the X Series pickup system.
Exactly.
So now we're going to go ahead and try the neck pickup and do pretty much the same riff.
Okay, so this is just the neck humbucker, so both coils.
Correct.
Cool.
Yes.
Very similar to if you had a standard 3-way toggle switch or 5-way, right? You just flipped up, flip down kind of
Yep.
deal. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah, already sounds nice.
And you can hear that both of them are pretty punchy and pretty clear.
Yeah.
There's not really any decay in quality from either.
No.
Just switching from the two blend knobs.
That sounded perfectly clear, but I
right.
really love that. I really love that neck pickup.
Yeah,
That
it's,
sounds
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that's a Ellis pickup. By the way, that's the Mighty Rigel neck, and this is the the Johnny B bridge. So,
Nice.
in case you're wanting to order, they're available on the websites.
Oh, okay. Shameless plug.
And now we can go ahead and turn both humbuckers
All
100% up.
Okay, so this is both humbuckers.
Yep.
Both on at the same time. Okay.
And
So this should be 200% the tone, right?
exactly.
I
So
think
but
it's
at 100
multiplicative, actually. I think it's 10,000.
10,000? Is that what it
Yeah.
is? But yet the same volume. Okay, let's check it. punchy and warm. Yep.
And I think what I like about that is, typically whenever you do switch to a middle position, if you have a hotter pickup than the other, like my bridge pickup in my Ibanez Destroyer at home is significantly hotter than the neck pickup. So when I go to that middle position, it basically just sounds like a bridge pickup with a little bit of beef. But this is both pickups equally displayed here.
Because that was actually the best of both worlds. Because you had the bright bite from the bridge, but it still had that warm chiminess in the neck. That sounds super good.
For sure.
Right. Split them up.
Yeah, so
let's see what you can do. Let's have some.
So we're going to have to do a clap because I need to raise this strap a little bit.
All right.
Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and split the coils. I figure we'll just start with the bridge pickup and do, south one first, switch to north, and then go back to the full humbucker so we can kind of hear, the difference between the two and them working together.
All right.
So same riff here. I'm just going to strum it as chords, though, just so we can kind of hear, what the strings ringing out sound like between the two.
Now, do you have them both at 100%?
Just the bridge pickup.
Oh, we're just bridge?
For now, yeah.
So bridge, south coil?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Super.
And then switching to north. And then going back to our humbucker. And you can honestly hear the characteristics of both of those working together. Not like how like a 5-way blade switch works, where it's using like a middle single and then out of phase bridge pickup. You're getting the actual combination of the two, which is very cool.
Because even a normal coil tap, right? If it's down, you have your humbucker. If it's up, you're not choosing which of the two coils you're hearing.
Yeah. Typically, it's the south for the bridge and the north for the neck.
So to have that option to get the north coil in your bridge pickup, is it really a totally new sound?
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about Telecasters versus Strat, I mean, they even have an adjustment of where the pickups is. Exactly. So I tell people when you're doing these, let's say coil splitting, but really it's adjusting your pickup and the location at the same time.
Right.
So it's super cool sonically.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the neck pickup. So we're going to start with the south one, then north, then both. After I turn the volume on. Then north. And then both coils. So same thing here, man. Yeah. It's very defined for both of them. And they work together very well as well.
And similar to how we were talking about the bridge, you have, even without blending them, we haven't actually really blended them truly.
Yeah.
But we have a new tone in that we can get the south coil on the neck pickup.
Absolutely.
Like when we talk about the pursuit of tone and how we as guitarists hear something and spend our whole lives trying to get it out, to be able to offer a novel tone out of an existing guitar is amazing.
It is. It's different.
Even without, even if we were to take out the blending ability, just being able to select each individual coil or both of them is kind of unheard of.
So powerful.
At least in this context,
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe what you should do next is let's go north coil on the neck and south coil on the bridge, right? Because now we're getting into these
weird splits.
Right, these weird splits, but they all have uniqueness to them, and they all have a different sounding tone.
And they're all usable. These are all actually usable tones.
No, that's the best way to put it. They're all usable tones.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're sitting here making our guitar sound different for the sake of it being different.
Exactly.
all of those samples you just played have a real place musically. Like when you went to the single on the neck, that was a cool like Midwest emo type intro.
Yeah.
But then when you were split on the neck, it had a totally different rocky feel. And so
sure.
these are all usable tones.
Not only that, but like in a studio context, you don't even have to like, you know, be limited to just genre specific. You can use this in any context.
Yeah.
You know, and not have to change the guitar depending on, you know, what song, what band, what style. You can keep the same exact one the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is also pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have one customer that plays in a band and they do live trivia night. And what they do is whenever the host has a song trivia question, they play a bit of it and they have to guess what it is.
That's so cool.
But he has one guitar that he uses for every genre.
Yeah.
Because with the Ellis, he's able to swap it to be whatever he needs. And he said, this is the coolest multi-tool. I don't have to bring 6 guitars anymore.
I wish this would have been invented 10 years ago so I wouldn't have 30 guitars at home.
You'd still have 30 guitars though.
Yeah, right.
27.
That's right.
Yeah, thin the herd just a hair. So let's go ahead and do 100% blend for both. And we're going to do north coil on neck, south coil on bridge. And this is actually my favorite sound. I had a wire configuration and a super strat that went between this one and then the opposite of south coil and north coil. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start with that. We're going to go ahead and reverse them.
Okay.
Spanky. Yeah.
And it can lend itself into, I mean, multiple uses. You don't even have to use a pick. You can switch, you know, finger picking style to pick and adjust this and get, I mean, really any sound out of it, which is incredible to me.
Yeah. So why don't you show us the blend?
Sure.
The actual namesake of the product we're talking about, the blending system.
That's true, because what we were doing up to this point is just turning on or off coils, which is cool, but that's really not even the power
it is
of
cool
what
and
this
novel
thing can do.
in and of itself, but there's
There's more.
So what I'm going to do actually is going to be a very Andy Summers Policey type sound. So he used a Telecaster with single coil here, neck humbucker. So I'm going to do, let's do 100% for neck humbucker, and I'm going to do south coil at about, let's do about like half. And here, you get the bottom end, but the clarity of that, you know, twang from a Tele. And if you wanted to reverse it, you know, have, let's say our south coil here, our bridge pickup there. You just have a more sharper version of exactly that. Which I think is pretty awesome,
It's
too.
so cool. It's the same. The risk of sounding stupid. It's the same but different.
No, exactly. The only difference is essentially you have your bottom end rolled off.
Yeah.
So in a mixed context, you know, your bass is going to be sitting separate from the guitar.
Sure.
And it's really going to punch.
Yeah.
Which, you know, especially for live sound, it's a really easy way to, like, you know, basically fix the sound guy if
Well,
they're not that
absolutely.
experienced.
Yeah.
That's really what we're talking about, and you alluded to it earlier. We're really talking about an analog way to EQ your guitar on the fly.
Yourself.
Without
Complete.
having to use any other equipment, without having to go to a mixer, go to an amp, go to a pedal,
Or do it in post.
or do it in post, right? Which we haven't touched that in post. In the future, we won't have future perfect tense. We won't have touched that in post. We'll just clip it and ship it because we don't need to. It's all done right there.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that guitar sounds amazing.
I agree.
I'm eyeing that 3 humbucker.
I am as well.
And now that we've gotten a little taste of our entry level.
Yeah. So what's funny is we looked at 2 humbuckers. It could have easily been 2 single coils. but these are humbuckers, or any combination of the two. That one right there has a mind-melting amount of usable tones you can get out of it. We also have a 3 pickup version. And the fact that we have 3 humbuckers means we have a 3-way split on each single one. So now, as Vintage Guitar Magazine quoted, you need a calculator to figure out how many tones this thing can do. And not only tones, but usable tones.
Yeah, because you have 3 settings on each guitar that you can then, or each pickup that you can then blend.
Yeah.
So you could go north, hum, south, hum, hum, hum.
10%, 80%, 10%.
Not even getting into the blend knobs.
Exactly. I think what I love about this one is I'm a huge Steve Morse fan from the Dixie Dregs, and he had a crazy guitar setup. He had a humbucker here, a single coil there, and a slanted one to get the tone right, and then a neck pickup there.
Yeah.
And then multiple switches for on-off, essentially to do what this is doing without, the specificity of this. So, instead of shelling out $3,000 for a Steve Morse guitar so I can be Steve Morse, I can get this X Series system and be able to replicate a lot of those sounds, with very, small amount of work.
Exactly.
Well, you mentioned that, right? The cost side is not insignificant because we're talking about high-end capabilities. How much does the 3 pickup X Series cost?
Well, how much was that guitar you said was simulating this going for?
About $3,000.
$3,000? This is a decimal place over. We're talking with 3 pickups, it's $350. And we're talking with 2 pickups, it's $300. And if you do a single pickup, it's $150. So, I mean, for just the price of that, you can have a $3,000 guitar in your $300 guitar.
Right.
In a sense. Will it sound the same? No, it'll sound better. Because you have actually more options. And if you don't like it, swap the pickups out.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's stopping you from being modular and having more control over your tone. That's all we're trying to get you there.
Yeah. All right. So where are we starting with that guy?
So you could do literally anything. You could go full Ace Frehley and switch between your humbuckers, or if you want, switch them all down to our South Bowl and have something similar to a Strat, or you can tune them all up so it's going to be a little, I guess, a sedated Strat sound. For now, I guess what we'll do is just start with full humbuckers for all of them and kind of go through each one individually.
Yeah.
Same thing as last time. We'll start at the bridge, kind of work our way up. So we get that.
It's so easy to get a headache coming up with all the combinations of this, but we'll do our best to make this easy.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and switch to our middle.
Okay. So this is the middle humbucker, both coils.
I think this is my favorite of the 3 for this kind of thing.
Yeah. That little warmth.
Yeah. And then our neck pickup. And what I think is crazy is the combinations. If we were to just do 0 and 100, we can have both of these, both of these, both of these. But the fact that we can tweak where it's like 20 here, 40 here, 10 here, and then, split these coils here, have a humbucker there. And some of the craziest stuff.
So let me ask you a question, Mark. Are those pots linear or are they logarithmic?
So these, all X Series pickup blending systems come with audio tapers, which means from basically 0 to 6, it would be the same thing as if you had a linear pot from 0 to 1. So what is pleasing to the ears of most guitarists is an audio taper. It ramps up. So most of the definition and change will happen between 6 and 10. If you really wanted to get something that's super precise and for studio use, or really dial in like micro tonal changes, you would use one of our linear blending upgrades. And what that does is it would just replace these knobs right here, those pots, with a linear style that literally is a micro adjustment. You can have everything you want dialed in, ultra precise for the true control freak of his own tone. But it's an option.
We actually have one of those right here. We'll get to here in a few minutes. That one has the linear pot upgrade already installed.
Sure. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and just kind of simplify this since we could spend hours on
Yeah,
this.
we could.
I'm going to go ahead and just switch them all down.
All right.
It's all going to be the bottom coil for all 3 pickups. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start from bridge and work our way up. And then our middle coil. And then our neck. And then we'll go ahead and flip all up to north. And same thing. And essentially, to my ear anyway, it kind of cuts off some of the bite on the top end.
Yeah, it does.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, middle pickup is the greatest pickup of all time. I will die on that hill.
I'll die with you.
I hate him.
Oh.
That's good.
I'm a sucker for warm, fat, chimey neck pickups, and that sounds really good.
So then let's go ahead and let's cut out that middle pickup and do just these 2. So we'll go ahead and just 100 them. So there we go. We got that clarity we want. So let's go ahead and add this back in. Pull that down. And we'll go ahead and switch to finger picking.
One thing I'm curious about, I'm going to add a little bit of dirt to that.
Okay.
Here at the helix.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Sounds really good.
I don't know if you noticed, but when Alan started playing, it was a little muddy, so he just dialed up a little bit on the neck pickup, dialed it back up, and it brightened it instantly right up. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things that once you get used to hearing tones in your head and knowing how to use the X series, when you hear something, you start playing like you just did. You changed the tone on him, he heard it, and it wasn't what he wanted. He knows, boom, you can
Right.
flick it on the spot. Yeah,
That's
on
the
spot.
great thing is, even with limited use of this system, just being an experienced player and kind of having an understanding of, just like how frequencies work and everything. It's very. I didn't even think about it. It was just like
you
right,
just
immediately like that.
Because you didn't even know. Like I turned on the Klon emulator here on
Yeah.
the Helix, but you didn't know what drive I was going to turn on. I could have scooped the mids on you with an
Yeah.
808 or done something transparent, but just
You listen and you react.
right. And so you go to a gig, recording or live, and you have a setup and you throw on a drive pedal because you want the dirt and the volume, but you don't like the tone. Well, what do? In the moment, I don't
gotta
know.
work with it,
You just gotta work
basically.
with
Yeah.
it, right? At home, you go buy another drive pedal that gives you the EQ you want. But like, even just as an instinctual reaction, as someone who's comfortable with the X series, okay, well, I hit the Klon, I got the dirt, I didn't like the EQ, boop, there I am, right? And so you can do these live micro adjustments to your tone.
Yeah. I think what I like about this as well is I've played a lot of shows locally, and when something like that happens, I readjust how I play.
Yeah.
I'll pick lighter, I'll pick differently, I'll change how my left hand is to get closer to what I'm wanting to sound.
Yeah.
If I have a really piece of crap amp with bad tubes, now I got to hit really hard to get some drive out of there.
Right. Yeah.
But this, it like I said, it's very instinctual. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It up front, it can be like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
But
why does my guitar have
Yeah.
5 knobs?
yeah, exactly.
3 switches?
And we haven't even touched on the fact that you can, we can still adjust the tone knob. And the tone
Exactly,
The tone
yeah.
knob is still there. You could roll the tone off totally.
I mean,
If I wanted, I could cut this neck, and do both south bridges. I'm gonna have very bright. Just roll that down a bit.
yeah.
Not to mention also, I added that dirt. The volume knob's still there too. So the volume knob also definitely applies some shaping when you're talking about gain staging. Like
For sure.
that's also still accessible here with this system.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Just even having this cut down a bit. I'm gonna turn my tone knob back up, but say about there.
Sounds really good.
Just switch here. You can get a lot of diversity just with the one pickup.
Yeah,
on.
And we've said it before. It's not like we did anything different to that guitar. We just unlocked what was already there by opening up all of these possibilities.
How many guitars have already that same configuration? A ton. 3 humbuckers is not so crazy. What's crazy is the fact that you can't use all of them.
Right.
I mean, now you can.
It's either 1, 2, 3 or some not friendly wiring.
I know. I could imagine almost like a joystick knob, where instead of a forward back option, you also have to the side and trying to. All right, I want it's almost like a gear shift. I want this one for, but here we have it in 3 switches and 3 knobs.
Right, and it's not overwhelming. It's something that you can never master if you want. I mean, there's always something else new you can do with this thing. I mean, literally the tonal possibilities are endless always. You can change. It's modular. You can add. You can subtract. But anyone on the first time using it could play it.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I love that guitar.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I'm also eyeing the single coil because I'm curious. I asked you earlier about so what about single coils? 'Cause you're not blending coils.
No,
you're not blending pickups. There's only one.
Exactly. So the power of the system comes with having multiple pickups, but the same functionality can happen with a single pickup. So the kind of person that's going to buy a guitar that has only one pickup probably has only one volume knob too. They have a tone they want, and it's there. It's less frills, and they're ready to rock.
I don't think I've ever owned a guitar with just one pickup.
It takes a person with a lot of guts and balls to do that. But what's cool about this is our system. It's solderless. So with your guitar that you already own that has this, that's one tone. Now you can put a 3-way coil split on it solderlessly and have 3 guitars that have single pickups. So you can essentially have a Strat, a Tele, or a Les Paul, let's say, with that same guitar without doing anything. So you can't blend in other tones, but your one guitar with one purpose now can have the spank of a Les Paul or the ting of a Tele if you want it. It also adds functionality to a tone knob and if you want it.
So for this one I turned off the Klon and turned on the King of Tone.
Yep. Sure.
Just give a little bit of.
Yeah. So let's turn a 1-trick pony into at least a 3-trick pony.
Dude, I've always wanted a 3-trick pony. My ponies have 0 tricks.
Yeah, they're always too expensive for me.
What's it called? So I have a lot of experience with single pickup guitars. So this is particularly exciting for me. I have a Hello Kitty Squire Strat with a DiMarzio X2N.
As one does.
So it is hot as hell.
Who doesn't?
One sound, volume is 100 or nothing, and it all comes in from my hands and whatever I dial in from my amp. So
is what it is.
Particularly exciting.
All right.
So we'll go ahead and just do full humbucker first. So. Let's go ahead and go to our south coil.
Less output. A little brighter.
Yep.
Switch.
But usable.
Oh yeah, way brighter, way spunkier, yeah.
And to kind of show the differences, I'm just going to arpeggiate it.
Hit the switch for the noise and arpeggiate. Going to the humbucker, it didn't get much louder, but it picked up a lot of the beef from the King of Tone. And
Sure did.
Oh, yes. And we still have a tone knob to mess with.
Right.
So even if I don't like say, like this north position is a little too twangy, Just cut the tone a bit.
Yeah.
It's right there. And then we can switch to the other one.
That's nice.
And then our full humbucker.
That took the bite right out of it.
Sure did.
We can turn it right back up and get that full clarity we want.
Yeah, if you're going between rhythms and leads.
Well, the cool thing about it being solderless like this is anybody can pop it in, and you don't need to go to a luthier or a shop to get it done.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want it anymore, you just unplug it and you're back to your guitar as it is.
Right.
Which, why would you do that? Quite honestly.
Right, true.
Sounds so good. All right,
Yeah.
so we've covered the 2,
Yeah.
covered the 3, we've covered the single coil, but those are all customs, right? Those are all custom Ellis guitars.
Yes, these are all custom ones that we build that are available for purchase on our website or Reverb.
So we brought one more guitar.
Mm-hmm.
This has a couple cool things. First, this is actually a PRS Zach Myers SE signature guitar, which looks beautiful, and I love the neck. It plays really well, but at times I felt like the electronics were a bit lacking. You play this guitar a bit too. So I asked Mark, like, hey, can we swap the pickups and put an X series? And it has opened up the tone possibilities there in this guitar.
Sure.
But I came to you, I was like, I am a tone snob. Rather than wanting just to be able to do big moves on the fly,
Right.
I want to be able to micro adjust my tone.
Yep.
And that's where we got the linear pot upgrade for the X Series
Yep.
blend. So
Exactly. So what's cool about this is we're entering another world here, that it's not just our custom guitars that we've done. These are guitars that other people build. These are ones that you would have at home. It could be anything, high end or low end. This is retrofitting your own guitar.
Yeah.
So this one right here, a PRS that we've retrofitted. So like Alex was saying, I added some Ellis custom on pickups. So there's a Mighty Rigel and a Johnny B. And then we added the X Series for 2 pickups and added the linear blending knobs upgrade. And it's a whole brand new guitar.
What did you do with the 3-way toggle switch? What is that?
Oh, yeah, that's fun. So people ask me, well, what do I do if I have a dedicated hole here that was from a toggle switch? And you can use that toggle switch to make a kill switch, or what I prefer to do is just put a Tessie switch in there, which is a metal-based, like arcade-style push-button one, and I think it's just too cool.
Which it was something that was cool, but we actually found a purpose for it. You know, I
Oh,
do a
that's
lot
true.
of like
That's true.
ambient, swelly type stuff, and if I can do it for you live here, if I'm here, right? Yeah, if I'm here, and I don't want my guitar slide. I can use the kill switch just to hide my guitar slide, so it's
That's-
not stuck in an ambient loop for 10
That's pretty
seconds.
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
super cool. It's
Yeah.
kind of a niche. I think you
Yeah.
put it on kind of just to
Absolutely.
put something there. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I know what I can do with this.
We
It's-
own no intellectual property for that kind of stuff, but it's just tricks for tone. That's really what we're into.
Yeah, so we've already kind of
Yeah.
shown off the 2 pickup. That's not different. But what I want to show off is the micro adjustment of the blend when you have linear pots. So I'll go here, just the bridge humbucker. Nope. None of them. And we go all the way to add in the neck humbucker. A lot more of the warmth, a lot less of the bite, but let's say I want a little bit of the bite.
That's right.
When you have a linear taper or a linear pot, 50% on the turn is 50% of the tone. So now you can actually hear it. Here, I'll strum.
Yeah.
I'll strum this chord, and you
Yep.
roll that on. that's usable through the full range of turn rather than it kind of ramping.
Right, because with an audio taper, if you put it on one, you won't hear much. But if you have one on this, it's going to be a drastic difference.
Yeah. And so, this guitar was like $850 guitar when I bought it. Your pickups were what, 300?
300, just because you had a custom veneer. But yeah, so.
And then the blend was 300,
Mhm.
right? So that's what, $1,450 all in for this guitar, and it sounds amazing.
And quite frankly, a lot of the guitars at that price point,
Yeah.
you are paying for the electronics anyway.
Yeah.
So better to do that, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. Plus, we have on the site, we've added, not only can you get, the X series as it is, but there's bundles. So you can actually buy your pickups that are already tuned with the same thing for a discount too. So there's those options. Called the Complete Overhaul.
But that's really what it is.
It is.
When
You get a new guitar.
Yeah, when you handed me this, it's like, yeah, it's the same wood, but it's a totally new guitar, and it really is.
Yep. It is.
So, all right, we covered 1, 2, 3. Covered the linear pot upgrade.
Yes.
What else is there?
Well, we haven't even talked about basses yet.
Oh, that's a whole nother video. Stay tuned for that. So,
Yeah.
what's next?
What? So much. We can't tell you about some of the stuff that's ready next. But what we can say is the X series is modular, meaning there's pieces we can take out or add to, making this an expandable system that will just blow your mind. There's so much coming that you'll be able to further tweak your tone even more. But this at least is the entry point to really get you closer to your tone dream sounds.
Yeah. So if someone wants to learn more or wants to go buy this, where they can where can they find it?
Yeah, they come find us. No, okay.
We are
Google,
right here.
Google.
Come
No,
find
come to our
us.
website, ellisguitars.us, or you can come to Reverb, look up Ellis Guitars.
Amazon?
Amazon, yes. Amazon, Canada, and US. Every social. We're here for you.
Every social. Do we have a Threads yet? That released today. I don't know when this video is coming out, but Threads. Oh, was it yesterday?
Maybe.
Is there an Ellis Guitar Threads?
There's
yet?
not yet.
Oh, okay.
I hope there's not, but there probably will be because we have to keep up with the kiddos.
All right. Well, Mark,
Yep.
Alan, thank you guys so much. This was super cool just to get and sit down and chat
Absolutely.
about
Sure.
guitars. And honestly, this
It was.
video could have been twice as long if we didn't hold ourselves back. But
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. And,
Yeah.
happy playing.
Thanks, everybody. You're like, I know my way around, but not upside down.